Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope that you are all doing well and you are all having a great day to start things off. The independent financial rating company known as Weiss Ratings has analyzed over 3,000 different cryptocurrencies. The conclusion is that just 4 of them can be considered as a buy. Another 111 coins were also rated. The information was released by Martin D. Weiss and Juan M. Villaverde in a blog post a few days ago. In the report released by Weiss Ratings, there are just 4 coins that are considered a buy. These tokens should be mark of B- or higher. These coins are XRP, Stellar, EOS, and Cardano. Both XRP and Stellar have received a good rating due to their transaction speeds. There are many companies using these coins to send and receive cross-border payments in a fast way. Indeed, they are faster than coins such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, but we all knew that already. EOS and Cardano are known as third-generation cryptocurrencies and blockchain networks because of developing great app-building capabilities and strong communities. They have acquired the buy mark as well. All these coins were able to improve their metrics amid the bear market in the crypto world. The report stated, and I quote, "As we've explained from the outset, these 4 have technology that's built for excellence and fully capable of achieving their specific goals, and at the same time, they're enjoying rapidly improving adoption metrics, especially during the past 10 months, end quote. Weiss Ratings evaluates technology, adoption, investment risk, and investment reward. Based on these parameters, each of the coins received a grade. These grades can be between the letters A and E. Those that received a B- or higher are considered a buy. Those with a D+ or lower are considered a sell. Finally, those in the middle with C are considered as a hold. In this case, the most popular virtual cryptocurrency, known as Bitcoin, received a C+ grade. However, there are some experts in the crypto world that don't agree with the ratings given to Bitcoin. Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano and Input Output Hong Kong, said that Bitcoin deserves an A rating, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with. It's interesting how Weiss Ratings manages to shake up the market every single time they give some type of a rating. A lot of people won't necessarily agree with a lot of the ratings that are given by Weiss Ratings. Typically, first of all, many months ago, when we first started having ratings by Weiss Ratings, a lot of people didn't agree, and I realized what happened very, very quick is that people weren't agreeing with the ratings that Weiss Ratings was giving, and it was because their coins weren't listed inside of it. I mean, everyone has their own metrics to kind of see exactly what they deliver a higher rating than other coins. There have been a lot of other things before in the past as well that have given Bitcoin and other, like even like Ethereum, like lower scores simply because of their like usability is, a rather amount of people using it or using your network or your coin or your cryptocurrency or your blockchain is one thing, but it typically comes down to actual daily usability. Like if you can only process 7 transactions per second or 3, this tends to end up giving them a lower rating. I wonder what exactly is going to happen to Bitcoin's rating when Lightning is fully implemented and when we potentially maybe have all of the upgrades on top of Ethereum. I wonder exactly if they'll be considered a buy, which will also be kind of interesting at that point because the price will probably be a lot higher than if you had bought them right now. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Bancor, a popular decentralized exchange or a DEX protocol on the Ethereum blockchain, announced in September that they'd build a bridge to the EOS network. The new platform called Bancor X is now live. Bancor X enables token conversions between 110 or more Ethereum and EOS-based assets. Projects launching on the platform include Everpedia, EOS Black, never heard of that, Bet Dice, Meet.one, Karma, ProChain, and Chains? Okay, why not? Bancor X was built in partnership with EOS block producer Liquid EOS. It makes use of Bancor's own token, BNT. To make the transaction happen, BNT now works on both Ethereum and EOS blockchains. It serves as a bridge between these two blockchain platforms, enabling cross-chain conversions. When an Ethereum token is converted to an EOS token, it is first converted to BNT. Then this BNT is sent to the EOS blockchain to be converted to the EOS token. All of this happens in the background, and Bancor X takes care of the liquidity. Theodore Forselius, CEO and co-founder of Everpedia, said the Bancor protocol is the leading project in the crypto space that is bringing cross-chain liquidity and decentralized conversion functionality to EOS and Ethereum. We're very excited to have the Everpedia IQ token listed on Bancor X, end quote. Additionally, Bancor has announced that this B Protocol Foundation would transfer $10 million worth of BNT currently held on Ethereum into a secure account on the EOS blockchain to bring in the initial liquidity. Bancor claims that the money will also encourage EOS development and serve as a symbol of faith in the security and promise of the EOS blockchain. That is quite interesting, simply because for the last couple of months we have heard nothing but a lot of people who are, rather, I'll put it this way. I've seen a difference between the people who are developers of these blockchains and these protocols and normal investors who are into these things. Remember, I told you guys before that the cryptocurrency space is, or rather people investing in cryptocurrencies have become hyper tribal. And I, for one, did not and do not think that it's necessarily healthy for the space. A lot of these people know each other. They're usually friends. Like, you see them at conventions talking to each other and stuff like that. It is widely believed that even before we have atomic swaps and stuff like that, where you will be able to, the idea is one day you can transact in any cryptocurrency that you may find awesome or cool, or that you necessarily believe in, and then you will be able to buy anything with that one token because of atomic swaps. You will be simply able to swap into another token that is accepted by another place where you're trying to buy something. So beforehand, we have something like this where you can swap between tokens between different networks. This is why I say often just do your own research. Other projects aren't inherently evil simply because someone has mentioned that they are, like, EOS isn't bad because someone said that it's the Ethereum killer. Like, Ethereum doesn't have to completely dominate over EOS. Like, they can work in the same ecosystem. We have at least 400 countries on this planet, companies on this planet who work towards the same exact thing. And these, they may fight against each other on the stock market, but they typically end up working together and, developing side by side. Point is, I think stuff like this is very, very cool. We're only going to have a lot more stuff that's going to come out like this. It's very nice to hear that this is finally, there's been, so many things that we have been hinted at getting, especially in September or even like the beginning of the year. A lot of things we just have not gotten. So it's nice to hear that there is some type of a cross-chain decentralized exchange that is now happening between EOS and Ethereum, that it was not just all, not smoke and mirrors, but, people say that they will deliver things and then they don't deliver them. So it's nice that this was actually delivered, because these are two of my favorite platforms. I didn't even have to repeat what my other ones are, but you guys should already know at this point. Anyway, let's move on. What might potentially be one of the coolest things that I've heard in quite some time. OmiseGo said on Thursday that it had launched its first decentralized application, or dApp, called Plasma Dog. The dApp, created by a distributed ledger technology company known as Horde, is a 2D video game that allows users to have ownership of in-game assets. Horde was working on the cryptocurrency project for several months to create a blockchain entertainment product, which enables gamers to trade Plasma Dog's related developers. Okay, the game is the first ever live proof of concept dApp using OmiseGo's Tsuji, or Plasma MVP, a layer 2 scaling solution for the Ethereum network. Horde gives internal rewards in UTXO, which is a specifically developed token for DevCon 4. Chris Robinson from Horde wrote in a blog post. He said, "True ownership is enabled when players have full control of the content of their gaming experience, including their avatars, XP and skills, in-game items, maps, and other customizations. If a player has true ownership of all these items, they are free to conduct all types of commerce with them, buy, sell, share, rent, trade, etc. on both primary and secondary markets. Players should be free to import their items from one game to another," end quote. Plasma Dog utilizes OmiseGo's Plasma Chain Operator as a proof of authority scheme and OMG's internal testnet for validation. The design ensured that even if OmiseGo were to behave maliciously, all players would, theoretically, if Tsuji were connected to mainnet, be able to exit their assets to the main Ethereum root chain. In this case, they could exit to the Tsuji chainnet root chain as well without penalty, compromise, or loss of funds, Robinson explained. No need to read about when OmiseGo launched. So I actually, first of all, not paid advertisement. One, I don't think I could even be paid for something like this as I don't know the OmiseGo team. I wanted to desperately have the actual video game open in the background, but I couldn't. Like when you're playing the game, there's an actual like song that plays in the background, and there was no option to actually mute it, and it made me kind of sad because I wanted to like at least show you guys the game. First of all, two things. First, this is a video game that I think that all dApps should be trying to be like. Before, in the past, the other dApp games that we've had, I'm pretty sure you've seen them, whether they be on Ethereum or EOS, have typically been like you're collecting collectibles, you're collecting cats, you're collecting photos, you're collecting giraffes wearing hats and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, that's great. That's pretty cool. But I like the idea of having an actual game. Like this game, it has very simple controls, you know, up, down, left, right. You can jump over obstacles. You can like fight coins, which is actually really funny. There's also another thing where you fight like chains that are going around, and they're chains that are trying to do like double spend attacks. Very inventive. But the other thing is that this is actually on Plasma, which once again is all aligning to the thing that the OmiseGo team was talking about, and also the Ethereum team, especially Vitalik, were talking about, that they don't think that people realize exactly how close these things are to actually launching. Could this then be the precursor to us actually having a full Plasma chain that is active? Because the Plasma, you know, when we have Plasma, it's going to allow at least 100,000 transactions per second for OmiseGo and for Ethereum. Even when you're playing the game, it's actually really interesting. I mean, I really wanted to show you guys the game. I mean, it's not like, you know, extremely groundbreaking, but it's like an actual playable game. That's anyway. When you're actually done with the level, like you go to like the, you know, the exit door or something like that, it actually shows you how many transactions you actually processed on the Plasma chain. Is I think like as you're like killing the enemies and like collecting there's like coins around the place, you actually like I think at the end of one of the levels it showed that I had processed 28 transactions, and then it also shows how much I actually saved by using the Plasma chain. And I think I was saving like, it said like $2.86 for actually playing the game, like using Plasma, and like therefore my transactions were almost completely free. The game itself is also free to play. Once again, this is not paid advertising. The game is free to play. As you start playing it, it'll give you like I think 5 free cues or something like that. Like it looks like the word quarters but without the vowels. Anyway, the point is I'm extremely excited for this. One, because it's actually an actual video game, and I love the idea. I think that I'm more than certain that video games are going to bring cryptocurrencies to the forefront of everything, and also because it's running on Plasma. Like I don't know how much clearer I can make that. I'm extremely impressed with the OmiseGo team for sticking to the actual project, not the video game, but actually sticking to their development without giving us news about hype and stuff like that. I am hopeful for the future of this project, and I hope that we are very, very close to having Plasma activated on the Ethereum and the OmiseGo mainnet relatively soon. It would be a very nice day when that happens. Next, okay, here we go. Here's a very, very interesting one. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, plans to clarify when and how cryptocurrencies may be classified as securities, its director of corporation finance said on Monday. Speaking at the DC FinTech Week conference, SEC Director William Hinman said the regulatory agency intends to release plain English guidance for developers to refer to when planning token offerings. This guidance will help such developers determine on their own whether any potential token offering may be classified as a security or not. According to Hinman, though it's not clear when the guidance will be published, because of course not, Hinman said, "We also will be putting out more guidance. The idea is a plain English instrument that people can look at, and they'll bring together sort of my Howie meets Gary speech in that analysis. We'll elaborate on that in a very plain English way. So do I think I have a security offering? Look at that guidance and you may be able to sort things out," end quote. If developers are still uncertain about whether their token offerings are securities or not, they can get in touch with the SEC's new FinHub, which is aimed at providing rapid feedback on questions about securities and securities offering. I'll get back to that in half a second. They said, once you determine whether you have a security we're going to have in that guidance, how do I go about registering and how do I go about doing an exempt offering, end quote. The issues the SEC is examining include accounting, custody, and token valuation. How many went on to explain some of the draft registration requirements, since the regulators so far have simply touched on these concerns. He says, I think we can try to bring that together and share that. We want to share that a little bit more transparently. First off, this is all because of the backlash that they have been receiving. We had people in the US government and other cryptocurrency projects who went to the SEC's offices, and they were pretty much telling them, you're taking too long, give us some type of information, we're tired of waiting. Like I said many times before, they knew exactly what they planned on doing, and it doesn't take, now what is this, 11, 12, 13 months that they've taken their time and given this information. As far as them saying it's not clear when the guidance will be published, I can only assume, let's say before March 2019, I assume they'll have some, because they know what they're going to do. They know what the paperwork is going to say. This is once again with them waiting. But this thing right here that they set up, this had to be set up a couple of weeks ago. It says if developers are still uncertain about whether their tokens, offerings, or securities or not, they can get in touch with the SEC's new FinHub. I can only assume that a number of cryptocurrencies have already been in contact with the SEC through FinHub, and they know exactly if their tokens are a security or not. And you guys know exactly where I'm leading up with that. But I'm pretty sure that one project is probably already in the clear. I told you guys many times before, or rather even just maybe one time before, I mentioned in that other video, I said, if you are a multi-billion-dollar company and you are selling unregistered, unlicensed securities on U.S. soil, the U.S. would have shut you down. The SEC in the U.S. would have shut you down immediately. And as that has not happened yet, this is kind of clear as to exactly what's going to happen. There was also an article yesterday. It says something about the SEC talking about that they were going to give like clarification on like exact coins soon as well. But I guess this also pans out to what's it called? If you are creating a new ICO or something that you think may be considered a security, you can then contact us, which is kind of interesting because if there is a way for you to create a cryptocurrency project and therefore you add in something that makes it a security, this also means that you may be able to take things out of the actual project and therefore not make it a security at all. And I wonder exactly how that'll then play out. Like, what happens if everyone kind of creates something that skims the line or is like not even like a gray area? They kind of just jump over the line, and then none of them are securities. And then what happens? Like, can the SEC won't be able to regulate anything? Or I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking a bit too far. Anyway, this is relatively good news. I can't really, when it happens, it happens. Let's see exactly if this ends up happening in the next couple of months. But let us move on. Litecoin is in the news today. There is a new application that will allow Litecoin users to send and receive payments using SMS, that is text messaging. The company Lite.im announced on Twitter a few days ago that more than 2 billion Facebook users can now invest in Litecoin. This can be performed in an easy way, and individuals can send and receive this popular virtual currency. According to Lite.im, Litecoin investors and users can now send and receive LTC through Messenger. Users that want to transact this virtual currency have to start a conversation using Lite.im. Those interested users can do that here. I tried clicking on this because I wanted to have a tab open to show you guys exactly what happens. It just brings you to normal Messenger where you have to sign in. And I don't really feel like signing into Messenger, especially since I'm more than certain I'm not sending Litecoin to anyone I know. This is the actual tweet for it. However, the system works in a very easy way. The conversation features a bot that helps the individual get started. In order to do so, it is necessary to be registered, obviously. Everything can be performed through the chat provided by Messenger, and in a few minutes, the account will be created. The registration process requires a valid email address and a phone number. Once the user provides this information, an SMS code will be sent to the telephone number provided. After confirming the code, the user will be able to select a password for the Lite.im account. After all these steps, the users will receive a Litecoin wallet address to receive Litecoin. Everything is now ready to start sending and receiving Litecoin. This is not the first time that Lite.im launches or has launched a service for messaging applications in the past. The company launched the same service on the messaging app called Telegram. If there are individuals that want to start using the device, they can learn about blah, 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 so and so. Side note, yes, I'm glad this word was in here. A number of people have been writing in the comment section. First of all, I do not use Telegram. I don't use Instagram for this channel. I barely even use Twitter as well. My email addresses for this channel, like the only one that I really will maybe kind of use is like tmiqa@protonmail.com, but even that I don't use anymore because I don't do the Q&A. If anyone is claiming to be me, they are not me. There have been an enormous amount of clones floating around with my name or like fake email addresses like contact the modern investor at gmail.com or like contacting TMI like is all these really like I don't use any of them. I definitely do not use Telegram. If anyone is claiming to be me or asking you for money or saying you to send them cryptocurrencies in order to to like receive information, the information is here. This is where I give you the information. I give you the information for free on this channel. That's the purpose of the channel. I will not ever ask you for money in exchange for information. That's just how I am. And I meant to cover this about 3 or 4 days ago, and it keeps slipping my mind. Once I'm done with the video, like a couple hours later, I remember that I was supposed to talk about it. Spread the word to anyone who might be wondering. I apologize that I could not answer each of you individually to tell you that was not me. I think I messaged a couple of people back in the comment section. Yeah, definitely not me. I do not use any of those platforms. I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you for money in exchange for guidance, especially if you've watched my channel before. You know that I do not give financial advice. Like I will not tell you exactly what to do with your money. So if someone is telling you, give me money and I will tell you what to do with your money, you're probably talking to a bot or someone who is definitely a scammer. Side note, back to the topic rather, this is very cool. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about the actual friction in the cryptocurrency space, how difficult it is to be able to send money. Like it's great to, if you have Exodus or something like that, or you have the Litecoin desktop wallet and you can send money back and forth between you and your friends and your family. But what's needed at this point, at least in my opinion, and what I kind of see also blossoming, and I'm pretty sure you see it as well, is being able to send cryptocurrencies through SMS, through text, through like messaging services, because it's stuff that everyone is not everyone, a large majority of people around the world are using on a daily basis. And to be able to send money this way, especially through cryptocurrencies, is going to be a lot easier. I had assumed that by now it would have been easier to send funds in cryptocurrency. Like years ago, it was absolutely horrible trying to send money to everyone, and you had to like enter your own amount, how much you wanted to like pay for transaction fees and stuff like that. It was just completely atrocious. It's gotten a lot better, but I think crypto will definitely begin to take off the same exact thing like we heard with Dash Text. Crypto will take off in a major way if you are able to. This is why I have such a huge amount of hope for like video games and stuff like that, or like even like other dApps where like the whole kin kick thing, like where you can earn cryptocurrencies while you're on the go, like playing video games, and then send your friends some money, send someone else some money. Like this stops a whole bunch of the friction that we have with getting into the cryptocurrency space, receiving cryptocurrencies, buying it, having it in our name and then sending it to someone else, because being required to download a desktop wallet and have your grandmother download a desktop wallet and to send her money, as opposed to sending her a text or just messaging her on Messenger the money, like it completely changes the entire dynamic of how money is going to be spent. I hope this ends up picking up. It would be nice if in some capacity that we actually had word from Facebook that they were getting into the cryptocurrency space, because that would drive up the prices, obviously. But it would also have a beneficial effect in that a lot of other people would start to build their applications and stuff like this on top of Facebook and on top of Messenger and on top of every other platform that we have out there, so that people can send it a lot easier. Because as of right now, I mean, crypto's still in its early days. I can't really knock it. But there's definitely a lot of ways that the friction, whatever you kind of want to call it, like sending payments through crypto can be a lot easier. To end things for today, at least right now, the price of XRP has passed Ethereum. Not exactly sure what caused the movements in price, When I woke up, XRP was like at the very end of 49 cents. About 25 minutes ago, before I made this video, it was 53 cents, and now it's at 56. I can only assume that it has to do with the news that we've been getting about the what's it called? Like the base pairings and stuff like that. We've had an enormous amount of good news for XRP, so maybe this is finally translating into something. I was reading articles, they were talking about that they were assuming days ago that XRP was actually going to be the cause for the next bull run, simply because it had the easiest prospects of being able to go up easier, because Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment don't have their proper scaling, blah, blah, blah. Not many other coins are up. Not many other coins received like any type of heavily fantastic news. It could be, once again, I told you guys before, like a lot of people I know in the crypto space don't necessarily care for Weiss ratings, but they are a major name in finance. So it does look like XRP, Stellar, and Cardano, like the coins that they mentioned. Where's EOS? Let's see if that's also up. Where's EOS? Right here. It's 3%. Kind of, okay. If anything should actually come up and I figure out exactly why XRP is up once again, I'll definitely tell you guys. But at the moment, it could just be speculative hype. It could be because of all the things that we've actually heard about them integrating and so and so and so. And it could also be because XRapid is actually active and people are using it, and maybe they've just upped their usage to when they figured out that the network is actually doing well. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to do it for this video. It's very nice to have a day where Tether is red and all the rest of the coins are in green. Something nice to wake up to. Hope you all are having or will have a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Let's hope that it is Tuesday. Let's hope that this momentum continues. I'm hoping that we only get an enormous amount of good news during the next couple of maybe even hours. It would be nice if everything kind of shot up. It's also interesting that 0x and BAT, the two coins that just got added to Coinbase, are also in the red right now. Very, very, I wonder what's going on. Thank you once again for watching and listening. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.